Welcome back to another episode of Save Toys. I'm your host Travis, and on this week's episode, we're going to be heading over to the Waycross, Georgia Mall to one of my favorite stores, Retro Reboot. Now, if you watch the channel long, you know I talk about them quite often. We'll be meeting with the owner Dan, and he'll be showing us some of his collectibles, and then we're going to take a walkthrough around the store and see what they got. Meet us there. Alright, we're here at Retro Reboot in Waycross, Georgia, and if you keep up with the channel, you know I love this place and I talk about it quite often. We're here with the owner, Mr. Dan here, and he's going to show us around a lot of the goodies they have here. You know what I always say about Retro Reboot, they got great inventory, great prices, and great service. So, take it away, Dan.
Alright, well, welcome to the store. I picked out a couple items that I'm going to share with you today, and I've actually set them up right over there.
Let's head this way.
Alright, I'm going to start with some of the things that I'm very fond of, which is the Star Wars stuff. So this is an original 77 Luke Skywalker with the telescoping lightsaber. Really cool. Those lightsabers always get lost. Another one is the Darth Vader with a telescoping lightsaber, and he still has his cape, I guess you want to call it in this case, and his lightsaber as well. One of the more rare items that we have as far as Star Wars figures go, this is, I believe it's 1984, and this is a Man-O-Man. And the original packaging came with a coin and his staff. Since it came out so late, these were, they didn't sell very well. So, the price has really skyrocketed. This regularly sells online for over $200 in this condition. Alright, then we get into some of these millennials. They'll know what this is. So this is the 1993 Adam. Adam replaced, I don't remember which Power Ranger it was, but so this toy only came out at the very end of the toy line, which makes it extremely rare. I do believe it's the rarest flip head Power Ranger out there, and this retails anywhere from $80 to $150.
It's probably going to date me, Dan, but I remember when the flip heads came out years ago.
Yes. That wasn't my timeline, which gets into my timeline. These are really neat. This is a Super 7. These are a company who bought out the rights to do Masters of the Universe, and they made these really cool. They're about the same size as the Star Wars action figures. As me and Travis were talking about, they get the same articulation and everything on them. So I really like these. These are pretty readily available anywhere. You can get them here too. They come out with like 5 different lines. These are really cool.
I like the artwork on that too.
Yes, yeah. And the artwork is actually pretty close to the original artwork.
To me, when you're going to sell part of a nostalgic licensed action figure, the artwork and the packaging is a part of a lot of the vintage stuff I have. I like to keep in the package and things like that.
Yeah. Which brings me to, I'm going to stay with the Motu here. And this is a Motu He-Man Classic Series. These came out, I believe, in the early 2000s and mid-2000s. And these are very, very, very collectible. These retail anywhere from $100 to $200, depending on the condition and if they're still in the package and all that good stuff. So I'm very happy to have this in the store right now. And then we got the Anti-Eternia He-Man. This one was just awesome. I had to get this. Even if I had to pay retail for this, I was going to get it. He's really cool. And he sells for about $100 as well. Moving on. This is still one of my favorite things in the store.
You featured that in a video a couple weeks ago.
I did. I had this in a video because it's quite amazing the condition that it's in. It's from 1972, so this thing's older than me, and the paint is still almost in perfect condition. It does have a couple dings here and there, but I mean the thing's and
it still works too, doesn't it?
It still works. It still works. And when I found this, I actually did find the box with it. The box is not in the greatest condition. Actually stuffed newspapers in there, so keep it the shape to it. But to find a box, it's fantastic.
And you know, Dan, for me, I kind of want the box a little bit in this condition, because if it looks so pristine, I'm thinking someone's scamming me. You know, so this brings a vintage feel. Not to use that word too much in this episode, but it really gives it a vintage feel.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then a couple of the last things I got here. These are the original Marvel's Legends series figures. So I got Ghost Rider here, and we were talking about this as well. Nowadays, you just get a figure. And back then, you got a figure, you got his motorcycle, you got a comic book, you got all this cool stuff that came with him to play with. And time has really changed. It's really changed.
The price points went up and the accessories went down. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely. This one's just really cool because the flames on the motorcycle and everything. They did a great job with it. And then, of course, you got to have this Wolverine, which you've had this Wolverine in a couple of videos too. Have you not?
It's been in my nerd cave, yes, sir. That's one of my favorite figures I have at the house. But I've always loved the brown suit classic Wolverine. I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah, that's fun. There's that one. Feel free to look around. We've got some Star Wars stuff. We got Motu stuff. We have superhero figures. If you just take a quick trip around, and if you see anything, got any questions, ask me. I'll come over and tell them.
Dan, thanks for all your help, man.
Thank you.
All right, let's step right here and take a look at the store. Now, one thing I always like checking out is the Marvel action figures and He-Man stuff. We saw some over there just a minute ago on the table that he had picked out for us, but I come here from time to time and just check them out. Let's step over this way. All right. Some great Star Wars action figures. Oh, it's a Firefly. Yes. I love the Black Series. I actually need to invest more in them because they've got some great stuff, and I do have a few pieces. As a matter of fact, I have a Kylo Ren that I bought from here that you'll see later on in this video. Let's step over this way a little bit. He's got some more Marvel Legends. Like I said, these are the original Marvel Legends. Step over this way. Nick Fury, got Storm. And I was asking a minute ago, I'm not sure, there may be a white suit Storm variant of this. I'm not exactly sure, but I like that particular action figure. This is one you'll see later on in my video that I picked up in a 4-pack from here recently that had Wolverine, Iceman, Mr. Sinister, and I'm trying to think of the fourth person in that set, Sabretooth. So you'll see that a little bit later on in my video when I show some of the things that I bought from here. But if you're in Waycross, Georgia, and you got an itch to get an action figure or a vintage video game, you need to stop in at Retro Reboot and check them out. Tell them Travis from Save Toy sent you. Alright, well let's head out to the review booth at my house. We're going to head over there, and I'm going to show you a couple action figures that I purchased from here. So I'll see you over at the review booth. As promised, this is my Retro Reboot pickups that I have from my personal collection. I wanted to start with the Force Awakens Kylo Ren that I have here. Comes with the snow diorama and the lightsaber with the blade in. Now, as you can tell, it was $19.99, and one thing I wanted to point out is Walgreens at the time had just the action figure for $19.99. So clearly, this is the best pickup. I mean, it comes with a diorama and an extra lightsaber. It's a no-brainer. This was the best buy. Alright, saw this in one of his bins and had to have it. It was an impulse buy. I have several of these in my collection, and I'm not exactly sure what line it's from, but when I saw it, it was coming home with me. Now, you remember this guy from the Nerd Cave on my videos. This is my Triforce Iron Man statue. I was in the market for an Iron Man and a statue and found both with this action figure. I messaged Dan on Facebook. It was $29.99, and this is my #1 Iron Man in my collection now. Now this is my latest pickup from Retro Reboot. It's the X-Men Toy Biz 4-pack. Comes with the '92 Tiger Stripe Wolverine, Mr. Sinister, My first translucent action figure. I hope to collect many more, but it's Iceman, and he comes with this stand right here. And this is Sabretooth in his original uniform as worn in his first appearance in the Marvel Iron Fist comics. It's got the battle damage right there, and I like that action figure. Well, I'm going to step back over to the Nerd Cave and meet you there in just a second. That's another episode of Save Toys. Be sure to check Dan and Retro Reboot out at the Waycross, Georgia Mall. Also, Dan has a YouTube channel, Retro Reboot, so give him a check there too. I hope you like what we're doing here at YouTube. Like and subscribe to us. It helps the channel grow. And as always, if you like it, collect it.